The results were not yet in on the Jason Kidd experiment when Dirk Nowitzki went down. Now the Mavericks need Jason to recapture the form that has made him an NBA legend. Tonight, Dallas faces the same Golden State team that so rudely knocked them out of the playoffs last season. Now the Warriors are determined to eliminate the Mavericks from the postseason entirely. There's no love lost here. It's a desperate grudge match between two teams fighting for their playoff lives. The Warriors, the Mavericks, next. With Dirk Nowitzki out, Josh Howard has been relied upon as the new man in Dallas, and he's responded in career-best fashion. But he has a defender in a Warrior uniform that is more than waiting for him. The third meeting of the year, they get more and more critical tonight. The Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And we were just in Denver a few hours ago, and we're playing a little version of the NBA's March Madness, a game of knockout between Denver, Dallas, and the Warriors. The difference is the Warriors control their destiny, seeing Dallas 2 of the next 3 games.
Well, all these teams do control their destiny. If the Warriors win tonight, they'll be 45-28. 3 teams will be 45-28. The season starts all over again with 9 games remaining.
The point guard battle tonight, one to check out because Jason Kidd has always played his best when he comes back to the Bay Area. A new look for Dallas, and Kidd fitting in but not beating the quality teams.
Well, they struggled against the upper echelon teams, but they've had good runs against the sub-500 teams. Now Kidd, with Nowitzki out, has taken on more of a scoring burden. Now he's also rebounding the ball. He's one of the greatest rebounders in the history of the game from the guard spot. But what he does best is find open people. So now they're in a fast break attack, much like the Warriors. It's going to be up and down with the point guards leading the way tonight.
Well, for Baron Davis, not only guarding Kidd, but as the games have become bigger, Baron has become better, shooting wonderfully in March inside and outside, and typically doing it all.
I don't think he's had a better year, and he has been an all-star in this league. But he is doing so much for the Warriors in all facets of the game. Number 2 in steals, one of the top 5 in assists, and one of the terrific scorers from the point guard spot at over 22 a game. And he's doing it driving to the hoop and also hitting his threes. He just does everything for him right now, and he is their team leader. He loves to take those clutch shots, and he needs help from some other people along the way.
We talk about the Warriors and Mavericks, and perimeter players, they take center stage, but Barnett's breakdown looks at Andres Biedrins and how he can be a factor on the inside for the Warriors.
Well, he kind of disappeared after that surgery, but now he seems to come back in the fold after last night's game. He's got great speed and really good feet movement for a big man. He knows how to play. He knows how to read things. You come up, you set a screen with Lamar Odom, Romy Turioff, and you slip the screen, and that quickness gets him inside. Last night, with 17 points and 17 rebounds, you can see he could be a determining factor in the push for the playoffs. But make no mistake about it, tonight's game, it's imperative that the Warriors win this. They go out this week on a 4-game road swing. You've got to win this one at home, particularly you're matched up against Dallas.
Throw out all the numbers, all the matchups. This is a game the Warriors have to have, and they have one secret weapon, a guy who was with the Mavericks a year ago. Austin Crozier will be relied upon for bench productivity. He'll sit down with our Matt Steinmetz on All Access right after this. Warriors Dallas. You just say that and it conjures up images of a year ago, and Austin Crozier has been in the middle of both sides, signing autographs for fans at a game the Warriors have to have. He joins our Matt Steinmetz on this edition of All Access.
All right, Austin, last year you played for the Dallas Mavericks. This year you're a Warrior. Can you compare those two environments?
Yeah, I think our locker room here is a pretty light, pretty relaxed group of guys, and I think if you compared us to anybody in the league, that would be the case. But Dallas with Avery, they run a pretty tight ship, and they do things the right way, and it's a great organization. But I think that would be the biggest difference.
This is the first time since February 22nd you guys have been in the 9th spot. Does that change the pressure you guys feel or your approach from this point on?
I think we've been playing with a sense of urgency for a while, but I think that this just really steps it up an even bigger notch. To know if the season ended today that you'd be out of the playoffs is a difficult thing to accept. So I think you're going to see our best tonight.
You guys haven't lost back-to-back games in almost 3 months. Is that like a freak statistic, or does it speak to the resiliency of this team?
Well, I think it's a wake-up call when you lose those games. You usually can look back and point at a couple of things you wish you had done differently that changed the outcome of the game, and you kind of you remind yourself of those things in the second game. Make sure that you don't make the same mistakes again.
Have you had a chance to see Dallas and how they're different without Dirk and with Jason Kidd?
Yeah, they are a little different. I think what they might lose in an up-tempo game, not having Devin Harris, they make up in the half court with just one of the greatest passers to ever play the game. So, we're definitely going to have our hands full. It's a big game for them. Also, everybody's fighting for their playoff lives.
You've kind of been down the playoff road before. You got some young players on this team. What do you see as your role in kind of helping these young guys get through these next 2-3 weeks?
I think a lot of these guys have, with the playoff series last year, know what the environment's going to be like. And obviously, some of the rookies, you can tell them all you want, but they really have to experience it for themselves.
Thanks a lot, Austin. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
The Warriors are still the fourth youngest team in the league, and their youngsters do have to grow up in big games like tonight. The Warriors Mavericks will tip it off from Oracle right after this. At Oracle, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Matt Steinmetz with you. Monster game part 2 for the weekend for the Warriors. Our Southwest Airlines starting lineups. First for the Warriors with Steven Jackson. Al Harrington, despite the thumb injury, will play. Andres Biedrins, Monte Ellis, and Baron Davis. Don Nelson saw his main players play well last night in Denver, but the role players unable to give the Warriors any productivity in losing to the Nuggets. Dallas has been resting and waiting in the Bay Area since late Thursday night. Josh Howard, Malik Allen, Eric Dampier, Jason Terry, as Jerry Stackhouse will not play with a groin injury, and Jason Kidd for Avery Johnson. Only team in the NBA to have a winning record against Avery Johnson, the Warriors, who are 10-6. No other team has bested Dallas in Avery's tenure.
Yep, Warriors have won 5 of the last 8 meetings against Dallas. Obviously, he goes back to the playoffs.
But the Mavericks have beaten the Warriors twice this year. They will play tonight and then play again on Wednesday in Dallas. The Warriors will play San Antonio on Tuesday. So at Denver, home against Dallas, and then you go on the road, and it gets incredibly difficult. Toyota Tundra keys to the ball game. Partner, what do you got?
Well, tonight, like every other night, you simply, number one, have to push the ball. The Mavericks will push it, but the Warriors just play so much better. And this young man in particular, Monte Ellis, cleans up at the offensive end when he has fewer people to deal with. This is a game without Nowitzki. You can play straight-up defense. I don't think you need to overhelp tonight. If you go and determine you're going to stop your man, I think that's the way the Warriors are going to play it. And protect the paint. You don't want to give up the easy hoops like they did last night early in the game. Bob, the Warriors gave up 40 points in the paint in the first half against Denver last night, only 14 in the second. And it makes such a difference in the outcome of the game and how the game is going to be played throughout.
Scott Wall, Joe Forte, Sean Wright to blow the whistles tonight. The Mavericks 45-27. Warriors at 44-28. Baseline pull by Jason Terry right through.
He's the scorer, and you can't leave him.
Aaron little step back. Biedrins for the offensive rebound. Steven Jackson had that 3 blocked, and good awareness by Josh Howard. They've seen the man who's made more threes in the NBA in March than any other player, and they're ready for him.
And that's another reason you need to push the ball, because you've got a tremendous defender in the point guard spot with Jason Kidd, and you have a great defender that can guard the 2 and the 3 in Josh Howard. He is their best overall defender, if you will.
Howard wing jumper is good.
They're ready to play.
Had a rough night in Denver. Made rougher by a thumb injury from the baseline and hurls out his first shot. 0 for 4, played only 16 minutes. Back end of a back-to-back. Warriors are going to need to draw from more than just the big three.
How about that? Your point guard sets a pick.
They're trying to lean in, putting it off glass. Dallas with a wonderful beginning. Harrington, same spot. Electing not to shoot it. Dampier was lurking, but they're trying to post up Harrington on Terry. Has it now. Takes it in on Dampier, unable to finish. Al with his own rebound when he draws the foul. Kid coming over to reach in will pick up the personal.
Kind of quiet in here at Oracle Arena. They're just waiting for the Warriors to score and get something going, because they need to get this crowd in it. They tried the out-of-bounds play they've been using, and what happened was Monte Ellis got hung up coming off that screen. He didn't get off it cleanly, and he didn't think the ball was going to be thrown yet. He was trying to regroup, and the ball was already committed in the air. Well, a slow start here, offensively for the Warriors, and defensively as well.
Dallas has made their first 3 shots. Warriors 0 for 4. Inside to Dampier, and Warriors asleep. Big kid is able to dice things up. Cannot turn your head. Biedrich able to finish. Harrington trying to crash the glass.
Our 2 white jerseys came together. And that's probably, Harrington should have laid off on that, because Biedrich is right back following his shot.
Howard one more time.
They're ready and they're hot.
And Don Nelson's going to stop it right away. 10 straight by Dallas to begin the ball game. The Warriors got down 14 to Portland when they were last here on Thursday. And it's not Nowitzki. Don't forget, Josh Howard was an all-star too. Dynamic beginning for the Dallas Mavericks, reeling off the first 10 of the ball game. 5 of 5 shooting with 9:22 remaining in the first. Tomorrow, baseball's opening day, Giants-Dodgers at AT&T Park. It's also the first new day for Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. You can go to AT&T at 11 a.m., take batting practice. First 5,000 fans get a hot dog on demand. Authentic opening day. Check it out tomorrow at AT&T. And speaking of on demand, miss any part of Warrior basketball, want to watch it again? A free service of Comcast on demand an hour or 2 after the game. Feeding Biedrich inside, blocked by Dampier. Out of bounds. Remain Warrior ball.
And they're just getting denied at the basket, at the rim. Eric Dampier jumped on that one. Quick reactions.
Warriors open 0 for 7. Mavericks 5 of 5. God, in this closing stretch, the Warriors would see Dallas on the back end of a back-to-back twice, with the Mavericks resting both times.
No
Shot
excuses, though.
2.
They got to be ready to play.
And Harrington ticked iron.
And here they go.
Mason Terry with a step around. That's goaltending. Make it 6 of 6.
Dallas is playing like a team in the early going that's been in the playoffs before. Remember, they went to the finals. You got Jason Kidd. They're just all about business out here.
Monte hanging, and he's missing a layup. You know it's not a good beginning.
Their confidence is getting bigger and bigger right now with each possession. The guys in blue.
They've switched Barron onto Josh Howard.
He's just going to shoot right over.
Lost the foul on the floor. We'll get Clint Azubuike into the ball game.
Well, Don's going to go small early on here. Take Andrews out. So Harrington moves over to Dampier. And Malik Allen is a big body they've got to worry about as well.
We talked about rebounding and offensive rebounding. Even more critical as the Warriors are super small.
Kid thinks he can overpower on Monte Ellis.
Dampier never left the lane. 3-second violation as he was expecting Kidd to shoot the ball.
That's exactly what he was expecting, and I think everybody did as well.
The Warriors want to break the seal here.
This is a good defensive team, one of the best in the league.
Best scoring team in the league. 36 straight games over 100.
Everybody's standing.
Leaving it all up to Barron. Sea of blue. Monte a corner three. And Harrington another offensive rebound. And Al's been working hard with no results and making sure he gets that one down.
Took him 4 minutes and 6 seconds to get on the board. But they'll take it.
Harrington's got 4 rebounds. Terry blocked by Monte. Barron trying to save, but it hit the baseline. It'll be Dallas ball with 5 to shoot.
Well, Monte really recovered very well on that. First he reached, and once you reach, you usually can't recover, but his quickness enabled him to do so, and he got the great leaping ability.
5 to shoot. They get it to Howard, and the catch and shoot 3 is good. Josh Howard at 34% from beyond the arc. The career best 19.7, and how about 9 on 4-4 shooting here in the first quarter.
Thought he was the most important matchup coming into this game. He's been on fire without Nowitzki in the lineup. A couple 30-point games.
Monte, beautiful. Weak to strong, got the feed and the flip.
You can see why they've got to get out and run, because he can finish at the rim. Of course, if you don't miss shots at this end, you don't run on anything but a made basket. That's tough to do.
Azubuike will take a turn on Howard. And played him very well there. And you see the quick hands of Kidd.
And the strength.
Malik Allen.
Everybody's dropping him in.
Warriors saw that last night with Kenyon Martin getting a season-high 30. Jason Kidd has 7 assists on the 8 Dallas buckets. Monte missing. Harrington has been a beast on the glass, and Al will get to the line. You gotta love the energy from Al Harrington rebounding in the early going.
Monte had a good look. You can see that they give him that little jump shot. Shot it a little bit flat, thus it hit the front of the rim. But Harrington doing a good job following up and just working.
You see the heavy wrap on that right thumb. There was a question whether Al would even play tonight.
Well, they use a little figure 8 to wrap that thumb up and play with a little bit of pain. But it holds it together pretty well, and you get used to it. It shouldn't affect his shot that much. You hold the ball in those fingertips.
You got a lane violation. Harrington will get a second opportunity at that second free throw.
Nice to get a mulligan there.
See, mulligan's a golf term. We needed a basketball term for the extra one.
It can switch over. You know, it's a perfect thing.
Call it a Harrington.
Okay. Well, it is for him right now.
Harrington making the most. But it's right here where the Warriors have to start doing something differently. Dallas is 8 of 10 shooting. Good zone look. Shot clock down to 6. Finding Malik Allen, bothered by Ellis. And the zone pays dividends.
2-3 zone. They go 2-3, sometimes 3-2.
They're in rhythm 3. Monte and Harrington fighting. And it's a foul on the Warriors. Jason Terry got spilled. Monte Ellis will pick up the rebounding foul. Could not be an uglier first half of the first quarter for Don Nelson.
Well, there was a lot of enthusiasm with the introductions, but since the game opened up and they hit the first few shots, it's quieted the crowd.
Malik Allen, ran with Chicago, Miami, Northern Jersey. Harrington hitting the 3. So Al Harrington is bouncing back from last night. He's got 7 points and 6 rebounds.
That'll make him feel better, make the team feel a little better. And that thumb feels a lot better now.
Allen, same shot.
He likes the baseline.
Same result. Malik Allen with 6 points.
He's a hard-working big man.
Now the unsung player in the kid trade, there's no mention of Malik Allen, but he did come over in that, and what a nice finish there. Kalena Azubuike. And for Kalena, the shooting night he had last night, it's good to see the first one go down.
3 of 15, but He could have easily been 9 of 15. He had so many heartbreak in and outs last night. Just wouldn't go for him. Had good looks.
Kid passing up the 3.
Howard's got one, but he was leaning a little bit.
Got his own rebound and putting it up and out. And that will be offensive basket interference.
Corkscrew type layup. That's where the interference was.
And that was
correctly
called.
That's a long three.
Jackson trying to recreate magic from last year's playoffs from that kind of three-point distance.
The kid certainly controls this team. They know how to move without the ball.
Josh Howard missing. Brandon Bass is an energy rebounding player getting his first minutes. Warriors have to find him on the glass too. Azubuike. Yes, sir. So Harrington, Azubuike, who struggled last night, have answered the bell with 12 of the Warriors' 14 here. Now the Warriors have been down 13. They cut it to 7 and just trying to wake up a bit on that back-to-back coming home from Denver. Well, Dallas opened 8 of 10 shooting at a 13-point lead. Warriors have trimmed it to 7. And we head down to the baseline of Matt Steinmetz. And Matt, Al Harrington, a different player tonight.
Yeah, you know, Don Nelson was asked about Harrington before the game. Obviously, Al's been struggling. Nelson was asked about him. He said, hey, look, I don't have a problem with Al Harrington as long as he's aggressive and he goes to the hole and he's not tentative. He says, I only have a problem with Al when he's indecisive and when he doesn't make, you know, clear-cut decisions. And that's and he was asked, well, what about last night in Denver? He said, hey, the bottom line is he was tentative. I think Al's gotten the message. It's not like he's shooting the ball great tonight, but clearly he's playing hard and decisively, which is what Nelson's asking for.
No, and I think Harrington, when he rebounds and he's active, guys, I think then the shooting comes. When Al floats around Jim and just settles for threes and does nothing else on the floor, then I think he doesn't really fill out his whole skill set.
He's gotten smart tonight because he likes to score. We know that. He's a terrific scorer. So he's gone to the board tonight. He has 6 rebounds, 5 at the offensive end. He's trying to find different ways to score, and no one ever gets upset if you get an offensive rebound and put it back in.
Malik Allen is human. And on the rebound, a foul on Brandon Bass. Now you see, Brandon Bass is like Paul Millsap, like Craig Smith, like Landry of Houston. He's in there for one reason, and that's because you can go at the Warriors on the glass.
And that's what he's going to do. That's why he picked up that foul there. He's a load to handle.
Came over to Dallas from the Hornets.
He's a good prospect.
Aaron, another 3. Well, here come the Dubs.
17-4.
8 straight by the Warriors. Zone has been more effective.
Now they've gone to a 3-2. The first one was a 2-3. So they've got a couple different looks with that zone.
Jason Terry has been a zone buster. This days back at Arizona as he hits a 3. Stephen Jackson over Malik Allen. Jack's toughest shot goes in.
He just has a feel when you're that good and know where you are, know how to score. You know where you are in the lane. You just straight on, just loft a little higher. You know where the rim is.
You have to be aware of Howard and Terry in this zone at all times. And Terry again.
But no one to rebound on this side because Andres had to go out on Terry.
Brandon Bass on the baseline, creating some space, missing the shot. Push ahead to Jackson. Rocker chair jumper. He leans back and puts it in.
Well, the man started hot, and the Warriors have cooled them off a little bit.
Warriors missed their first 9 shots. Come back to make 8 of the next 12. Get out to Howard, who started quickly. He drinks the rebound, a chance to run. Azubuike weaving through blue jerseys when it'll still be Warrior ball. Knocked out of bounds. Antoine Wright will check in. So another
He came over in that trade
of the jersey acquisitions. Remember, a couple draft picks, $3 million. Devin Harris, Zagana Diop, Keith Van Horn, which was the key to the trade.
don't say that.
Baron Davis putting in the baseline jumper.
How about that?
So from down 13, the Warriors within 1.
A little under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. It's a 1-point game.
14-3 run.
They got a wake-up call.
Right. Dribbling in traffic and took an extra step. And we had 3 in the key anyway. So travel into 3 in the key, and Dallas turns it over.
Smart defense here. All of a sudden they both go, and there's nowhere for him to squeeze through. Forced to walk.
Evan George will check in. Speaking of that jersey trade, it's George. They didn't want to go.
He's kind of played himself through that negativism. The way this game started out, you thought the Mavericks are going to have a big quarter. They do have 24, but when they score 30 in the first quarter, they're 16-3.
Knocked out of bounds, still Warrior ball. Matt Barnes will check in. Nelson gives Barron an early blow. Baron Davis getting some first quarter rest here. Minutes last night for Barron, Monte, Steven Jackson. They emptied the bucket on the front end of the back-to-back. Monte dropping in the jumper.
Monte played the most of anyone on the floor.
Don't look up, but the Warriors have the lead. 16-3 run.
I guess that's more important than talking about minutes, isn't it? But we're not surprised.
Antoine Wright with a nifty finish. Used his body to shield off Biedrins. Monte, Matt Barnes now in. Jackson Azubuike and Andres Biedrins. Jason Terry, Antoine Wright, Devin George, Malik Allen, and Kidd for Dallas. Steven Jackson, a little stubborn on that one, missed the shot. Kidd's the master of the 2-for-1 here.
He just sees the floor, sees everything, sees both sides, and he's a little general.
Devin George shoving off on Monte Ellis, commits the offensive foul. Dan Beer will check back in. Well, between Avery Johnson and Don Nelson with the substitutions, this is like speed chess. I'm going to move this piece, you move that piece, back and forth, and now Tyronn Lue is in. Lue actually went from Atlanta to Sacramento in the Bibby trade and then was bought out and signed as a free agent.
Had the shot.
Steven Jackson trying to get inside, and he'll get the body bump. Steven Jackson to the foul line. Steven Jackson, we talk about Barron having the best year of his career, but Jackson, the three-point shooting, the defense, key shots. You can guarantee a seat to see the Warriors in the playoffs by placing a deposit towards next year's season tickets. Operators ready to help you right now at 888-GSW-HOOP, or you can log on to Warriors.com for all the info. Record-setting year for Warrior attendance. C.J. Watson checks in. Monte Ellis will sit with 4 points and 2 assists. Watson out of Tennessee, a developmental league call-up, as was Azubuike a year ago. Jackson dropping in ball free throw. So Harrington 7, Jackson 6, Barron with 5, Azubuike with 5, Josh Howard 9, Malik Allen 6, and Jason Terry with 7. Warriors have a foul to give here. 1/10 of a second differential winding down the quarter.
I would think that's why C.J. Watson came in.
Tyronn Lue elbow jumper. Biedrins tipping. Final second, and that will do it. What an amazing turnabout for the Warriors. They start dead in the water at 0 for 10. Finish the quarter 10 for 14. Get down 13 points, but after 12 minutes, lead by 1. A game both teams desperately need, and yet the Warriors through 12 minutes have this single point advantage. Beginning the second quarter, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett. Matt Steinmetz with you at Oracle. Remarkable turn of events for the Warriors, and it begins well in the second with Biedrins flashing and getting the pass from Steven Jackson.
He's got his legs back. You can see that last night. 17 boards was huge, and the 17 points was surprising for him. It was good.
Juwan Howard checking in with Tyronn Lue, Antoine Wright, Brandon Bass, and Jason Terry. Bass, a very tough turnaround and hit it over Jackson. Brandon Bass starts hitting that type of shot, you're in real trouble. So nice season, averaging 8 points, only 5 rebounds, and reserve role for Dallas. Barnes and Jackson, Andres Biedrins, Monte Ellis, Kalena Azubuike for the Warriors. Back with a jab step and the defensive 3-second technical on Dallas.
Now Biedrins over on the weak side. Comes off a back screen inside by Barnes. And they don't usually run plays for Biedrins, and so they're not set up for that. They don't think he's one of the key guys offensively, and they caught him unaware. That's a nice little play. And it's a quick hitter.
You spoke at the top of the telecast. For Andres to get 17 and 17 like he did in Denver, the Warriors, they get that type of productivity inside with all the perimeter players outside. They
just didn't get another big score. Montes was 9 of 22 and 22 points, but they didn't expect Kenyon Martin to get 30.
Steven Jackson will draw the foul on Antoine Wright. One thing the Warriors have done in coming back from that 13-point deficit is looking inside, drawing a few more fouls, getting to the foul line, and not just casting away from three-point land. 3 of 7 being on the arc tonight. Look at that Jackson matchup. A pretty good defense by Antoine Wright that time, forcing the air ball.
Lou's a terrific three-point shooter, particularly in transition. Terry's tough to handle on the outside.
Antoine Wright driving and a reach-in foul. Biedrins will pick up the personal, and that's his first. It's just odd to see Tyronn Lue and Juwan Howard, Antoine Wright, Brandon Bass. You're talking 4 Mavericks who weren't on the team a year ago. You got so familiar with all these Maverick faces in that incredible playoff series. Pass inside, tough take, tougher rebound, and then Barnes commits the foul. But you just see the activity of Brandon Bass. He knows he's played well against the Warriors. He knows he's going to get an opportunity. And he's the baddest man in the lane. KFC Colonel's Corner, Sacramento and Denver. Get a Warrior ticket with a 2-piece meal for just $25. Save some money. Up to $20 on that. Stop by any participating East Bay KFC for tickets. Log on to Warriors.com and check out all the info on the KFC's Colonel's Corner. After tonight, the Warriors go to Sacramento, go to Dallas, go to Memphis, and then play the Hornets. Coming back, and we'll see Sac and Denver, Clippers. Monte wing jumper right through. Well, what's happening now is, remember, Baron Davis rested from about a minute and a half left in the first. Got the superstar rest between quarters. Don Nelson say, look, if I can have the lead and get Baron a real long blow here, that really could benefit the Warriors.
He just wants the guys on the floor right now to be playing well. They'll stay out there.
And Monte with the steal. Monte in a foot race. I'll let you guess who wins that one. With apologies to Barbosa and Iverson, that's the fastest man in the league.
There's a difference being fast and being fast with the ball in your hand. There's nobody faster with the ball in his hand than Monte.
Bass elbow jumper.
They've given him a lot of confidence. He's an undersized post player. Strong. He's worked on that outside shot. He's a pretty good find for him.
Azubuike on Lue. Monte trying to find that. Antoine Wright stepped in the passing lane nicely. Still Warrior ball with 16 to shoot.
Ellis looking to be a deliverer there. If Azubuike had taken a step just a tad sooner, he probably would have found him.
So 16 to shoot. Jackson draws the double. Cycle it around to Barnes. There's Beadrich. What ball movement!
And how about people moving on Beadrich? He knows how to find the open spot and the weakness in the middle, doesn't he? They switched on that play, the double team, and then they rotated over, and he said, okay, I'm just going to cut inside here and see what you do with it. And they left him all alone.
And the pass, tough take inside, and he will get himself to the line.
He doesn't mind getting physical.
Anders will pick up his second foul. Bass will go to the foul line.
Double team comes, and then they chase over. And so everybody has to move over a man. So you see inside that Malik Allen left Andres Beadrich wide open.
8:53 remaining in the first half. Warriors' biggest lead is right now at 5. Monte Ellis in the open floor with the steal and the flush. And they're doing it while giving Barron a rest. The Warriors have moved from the Bay Area to Denver and back to Oracle and off to San Antonio tomorrow. A lot of moving. Moving into a 5-point lead with 8:53 remaining in the first half. And look away if you don't want to see kind of an ugly twist of a man's leg. Dirk Nowitzki against the Spurs. The high ankle and knee injury. And if you love the NBA, it's just a sad sight to see a superstar go down like that. And Nowitzki still out.
Well, you want him to come back. I mean, despite the upcoming schedule, you look at this for Dallas and hosting them next Wednesday. So you'd love to see Nowitzki come back. I mean, and play starting Thursday.
But it's interesting with Denver, the Warriors, and Dallas. We could throw up any of the remaining schedules, and you say, all of them. But for the Warriors, yes, Dirk, get well Thursday morning. That would be fine. The Warriors playing San Antonio and then playing the Mavs back-to-back. But, it's just like when Yao went down, Jim. If you love the NBA, that's not a good thing.
Oh, of course.
I mean, these are they're special players, and you just want to see every team at full strength. Brandon Bass splitting free throws.
Now, Lou's a feisty little defender, but he's not going to run the club like Jason Kidd does.
Steven Jackson. Jackson with 9 now to lead the Warriors. And this is the biggest lead, and all accomplished while Baron Davis is getting great long rest.
Jackson is one of the most effortless shooters in the league.
Now on Lou inside. Beadrich, Gabe Brown. Monte rhythm jumper. So Ellis with 10 on 5 of 8 shooting.
Jason Kidd's coming back in. Jason Kidd, 11 and a half minutes in the first quarter, didn't even take a shot. He just made sure everybody else got theirs, and it worked pretty well for them.
Yeah, had 7 assists in Dallas's first 8 buckets. Mavericks started 8 of 10 shooting. They've been 6 of 17 since. Went for the steal. Josh Howard for the baseline and the foul. Barnes out of control with the N1.
Did the right thing, rotated over because Steven Jackson went for the steal. Made it a tough angle to get to the ball. This is the after effect. And Barnes, when you jump towards someone, they're usually not going to go left or right. They want that ball to go straight. So you want to jump to the side of them. You don't jump straight into them. It's a very good free throw shooting team. With Nowitzki in there, they're number 1 in the league.
I was going to say, very good as in the best. The Mavericks shoot 81% from the line as a team.
Without Stackhouse, we want to mention that. Stackhouse is a real key. Come back into the middle. Jackson goes by, and there it is.
Beadrich will draw the foul. And so Anders there, but accentuate a little contact. You spin in, there's bodies in there. Make sure you get a little piece of something. Get yourself to the foul line.
Anders protects the ball here, just up in the air. Waiting for Jackson, nothing there, so he goes into the middle. Now, if he were a good free throw shooter, if he were an 80% free throw shooter, he'd get to the line more because he would push it to that limit. In other words, he would challenge people because he could create contact anytime he wants. He's trying to get the shot off, the contact comes, but he could create the contact and become a much better scorer because he'd go to the line that many more times. Oh, here's another lane violation.
We just had a Harrington instead of a Mulligan.
Okay, now you got a Beatrich.
Andres says that kind of Rick Sutcliffe funky delivery, and it probably induces more lane violations than any player in the league. Our producer, Vaughn Kilgore, says, call it a Beatrich. Okay. We'll call it a... Baron Davis able to rest, and the Warriors expanded on the lead. Monte Ellis will sit with 10. So Beatrich, a second opportunity. And he looked like an 80% foul shooter. Andres making them both.
Well, that helped. Harrington had missed that second one. Andres missed the second one. They all got the third attempt and made it count.
So Kidd back in, Barron back in. Carson, Devin George, Azubuike trying to stay with Josh Howard. Azubuike holding on to him. That'll be the 5th team foul of the Warriors, and Dallas gets into the bonus with 7.5 remaining in the half. So just as you were talking about, Jim, the best free-throwing team in the NBA, you do not want to let them live at the line.
And did a good job. Well, of course, they shot so well in that first quarter, but they did not shoot a free throw, the Mavericks, in the first quarter. And one of the reasons they are Nowitzki, obviously, and Stackhouse gets a lot of free throws, and Stackhouse is relegated to the bench with that little groin pull.
You know what the thing is, and I'm thinking of the Kidd trade while we're watching Stackhouse, and he was part of it initially and then not. Dallas threw in 2 number 1 picks, okay? The man at the foul line was the last pick in the first round.
Number 29. And
became an all-star. I don't know that I'd be throwing in extra first-round picks.
In my estimation, Bob, it was way too much. Particularly with the age of Jason Kidd. That's the qualm I have about it.
Now Harrington for 3. Josh Howard with a rebound, and he'll start the break himself. Dampier, a little pick and roll. Kidd still has yet to take a shot at the ball game. Howard, you want to talk about effortless. Josh Howard, that 3-point play, then the jumper, and here come the Mavs right back. Howard's got 16 to pace Dallas. Another illegal defense by the Mavericks. Be a technical free throw. Remember, closely guarded for 3 seconds. Otherwise, you have to kind of cleanse yourself, regard somebody, and then the count starts again. Willie Johnson talking to Sean Wright about that. That's why Don Nelson always talks about spacing. That's why it's so critical, Jim, is that if you are spaced properly, you make it real obvious for the officials if someone's trying to hide in the lane. But if you're kind of ganging together, then they can sort of guard you, sort of be on the weak side for help.
Kid just slipped right through that screen. This is going to be a tough fadeaway in the corner.
Aaron missing the 3, and Malik Allen with a rebound. Warriors 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. Kid taking it inside. Harrington sent him away. Kid's first shot of the game is blocked. Jackson transition triple. Nobody shoots it better in the open floor than Steven Jackson from distance.
As I said last night, no one has made more in the month of March in the league than Steven Jackson.
Dallas will use a 20-second timeout. Jackson's got 13 to offset Josh Howard's 16. Monte's got 10, but Steven Jackson, if you retreat on him defensively, you got to know he's going to pull off at some point.
And when he gets a dribble in there and he steps into that shot, he can launch it from deep, deep range, and he feels very confident. One thing about it, he gets it way up in the air. He gets it up in the air and gives it a better chance to go in.
Well, after tonight, Warriors on a road trip, and we'll have radio only against San Antonio. ESPN, the national telecast versus Dallas. We'll be with you on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, and then ABC, a national telecast for the Warriors. So when I say check your local listings, I'm not kidding.
You better do it.
For this week in general.
What a year Chris Paul is having.
It's either he or Kobe are getting my MVP vote.
Well, number 1 in the league in assists and in steals.
Skip pass to Josh Howard, the hottest Maverick there, and closed out nicely. Shot clock down to 6. Leak out on the baseline, having it knocked away. Jackson with the steal. Warriors a chance to run. Stephen Jack again from deep, but this one's short. Aaron, new possession on Zabuki, 3, and Kidd with a rebound. Looking for Dampier.
Don't need to foul him.
Dampier traveled.
That's why you don't foul him. You just let him make his move and do what he wants to do. They gave him a bone there, and it came up dry.
And the former Warrior, we've seen his game quite frequently. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 7 Dallas turnovers, only 1 for the Warriors. 5:26 remaining in the half. The Warrior lead at 7. Warrior lead is 7 with 5:26 remaining in the first half. And Matt Steinmetz, you hear about coaching trees in football, but we're going to see a lot of Don Nelson coaching tree proteges in the next several games.
Yeah, we know Don Nelson's the second winningest coach in NBA history, but there's another way to judge how successful he is, and that is how many guys have coached under him and followed in his footsteps. George Karl, of course, we saw him last night, was an assistant with Nelson at Golden State. Avery Johnson, an assistant to Don in Dallas. And on Tuesday, we're going to see the San Antonio Spurs with Greg Popovich. Bill Walsh, one of the greatest football coaches of all time, had one of those trees you talk about. Well, Nelson's got one, too.
Well, you think of Shanahan and Mike Holmgren and Ray Rhodes and so many people that coach under Walsh. But I'll tell you, this will be tomorrow, is Don Nelson, if he doesn't get into the Hall of Fame, when they announce it, they ought to just stop the balloting. Because it's getting to the point of absurdity. When you think of a playing career and a coaching career and a collegiate career, for Don Nelson to not be in the Hall of Fame, why even have the voting then? Just find another Czechoslovakian women's basketball coach and put her in.
I want to tell Matt, though, that tree was actually a lot bigger because Bill Walsh came under a tree named Lynn Casanova at the University of Oregon and spawned a lot of people, John Robinson, to name a few. So there were a lot of seedlings out there.
Now, we had a Warrior illegal defense call, but Jason Terry just checked in, and he cannot shoot the free throw by rule. So Josh Howard will shoot the free throw. Still an 80% free throw. Howard knocking that down. Warrior lead at 6 with Baron Davis, Al Harrington, Kalena Zabuki, Barnes, and Jackson. Jackson will get his first rest as Monte Ellis checks back in. Stephen Jack, 13 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. We're also going to find out if Chris Mullin makes the Hall of Fame.
That should be automatic.
Should have been last year. It'd be nice if the Hall of Fame voters actually revealed their identity. I think that's something that has a little something to do with things. Malik Allen fouled inside.
Now the game's come to a little grind here.
That favors Dallas.
Absolutely. Putting them on the line.
Want to win a trip to the NBA Finals? Wrigley's Double Mint Gum can help out. Grab a specially marked pack of Double Mint Gum or go to WrigleyHoops.com for more details. And until we have a winner, Jim will continue opening all of the Double Mint Gum courtside and looking for that specially marked pack. You were a Willy Wonka fan as a kid, weren't you?
I'll pull one out right out of the hat. You name it.
There you go. You got the Wrigley's Juicy Fruit, the Double Mint. Of course, that's Barron's gum right there.
That's why I have it.
I was going to say, don't go anywhere with that. Monte Ellis drawing the foul. That's where the Warriors and Phoenix are so different, is that they will break off of any situation, and Barnes did a great job looking up court.
All he needs is a little bit of an angle and people moving backwards. He just came off a little crisp. Jason Kidd did not like the call, thought he got out of the way.
But that replay shows how Scott Wall made such a terrific call, as that Kidd was sliding underneath Monte as he began the shooting motion, and that's a block every time.
If they had contact.
But isn't that great aggressiveness? Even Barnes always looking up court.
I embrace that mentality. Well, Bob, when you first came here, I always used to say, throw the ball up and see what you get. Sure. See what you get. Absolutely. Doesn't mean you have to go wild.
Warriors 10 of 10 from the line. Ellis now with a dozen. Kidd finding Devin George, and he hits the three. Dallas not going away. They led by 13 early. Warriors have led by 8. Barron missing the three. And Jason Terry shoved Monte Ellis on the rebound. It's the 4th team foul on Dallas. Mavs have been in the bonus since the 7.5-minute mark.
It's going to be for Al Harrington. He's going to go a little one-on-one. Now they got it back to Monte. He's always the outlet right there at the elbow, the short elbow.
Why not? Monte's got 14 on 6 of 9 shooting. Kidd going to back him down. Knocked away by Barnes. Better tap to Terry. Or Monte with a rebound. Pushing, a little show and go. Barnes out of the corner. Barron inside for the rebound. Barron putting it up and in.
You love the way he used a little English. He didn't try to out-jump anybody. He put it to the side and just spun it up there quickly so it would go up and over.
Warriors only 4 of 14 on threes, but getting to the offensive glass. Kidd. Draw a foul.
Interesting call on Barron. Talk about that in a moment. Right now, it's Monte Ellis rotating around. Perfect footwork. Did a clinic today, Warriors basketball camps. Said when you come, inside foot. That was the right foot, the closest one to the rim. You plant on that foot the same time the ball comes to your hands. You swing your other foot around and you go up, and that's exactly what Monte did. This foul here, Jason Kidd, pump fake, got Barron in the air, but then Jason Kidd leaned in to get the contact. He invaded the verticality space of Barron Davis.
Good word. Free throws made. Kidd's first 2 points of the game. Harrington to the rim, and Al finishing with the right hand. What a bounce-back game for Al Harrington with 9 points and 6 rebounds.
And he was quick on the movement there, and then just relaxed enough to get the ball off the glass softly.
Kidd firing, fading, and missing. Ricochet out to Barron. Barron to a running Azubuike, the pump fake, and is it a foul or a jump ball to be a foul?
Good time for a little run. And Avery Johnson's going to put timeout.
Mandatory timeout. Warrior lead is 7 with free throws coming. 2:42. The mandatory. And Harrington with a quick finish. Mascot Thunder's 12th birthday, and so all the other mascots are here. Warrior lead is 7. But before the game, he's our broadcast mascot, also the analyst, but Jim Barnett running one of the Warriors boys and girls basketball clinics, and the proper footwork. Jim talking about sportsmanship. He just told that kid, if you're open, take the shot. Don't ever pass. But the footwork, Jim, we're making a little fun of it, but Monte Ellis has perfect footwork in addition to many other tools.
Yeah, that's so much fun. And today was, a parent-child camp. So we had a lot of people out there playing, adults playing also, and along with their kids. And, since I've been around, I have a 31-year-old daughter, gave a little parent-child advice. The best advice I could give.
Okay.
Praise the behavior, not the child. Praise the behavior of the child, not the child itself, and it works. But the kids were great. They're so responsive. And plus, it made me feel good because the three-point shots were going.
Oh, there you go.
That always helps.
Bob Fitzgerald and Dr. Phil with you on the Warrior telecast. I will say that you shoot the highest three-point percentage of anyone in the league in a suit before the game. I mean, that's shirt and tie. No one can step out to the corner three like you. And Azubuike missing the free throw. I mean, people think I'm kidding. Jim shoots about 60% on the corner three in a shirt and tie before games.
And today I went out, since I had shoes on, the right kind of shoes, today I went out to the line up here and it felt even better.
There you go. Shooters can always shoot. So the free throw split, but the important 2.5 here. Can the Warriors put an imprint on this right before halftime?
Yeah, get a little exclamation point even. Dallas is going to play him tough. That's great defense.
Shot clock down to 4. Howard got rid of it. Kidd for 3, and he buried it. Jason Kidd saves his best for the Bay Area. It always seems that way.
Well, he was 8 for 8 from three-point range against the Warriors some years ago.
Monte driving, Azubuike alone, and his 3 is off iron.
A little flat.
Harrington. And Allen got tangled up, and Al Harrington will work his way to the line. Just extra effort from Harrington tonight.
This shot just a little bit flat, and thus it's hitting the front of the rim, just like it did last night, but Harrington had good position, and that's what earned him a trip to the line here.
Harrington in double digits with 10 points and 6 rebounds. He's been very good against the Mavericks. It's been a long time since Al had a 20-point game, and it was back in February against Boston.
That is overtime for Al.
That's what you said last night, Jim. Just one more score, you know, and that's if Harrington can be that tonight. That's a great sign for the Warriors.
That's an offensive.
That is perfectly called by Sean Wright. Brandon Bass never set the screen.
That was Jason Terry's responsibility not to run and drive too soon, but he wanted to elude Monte Ellis.
8 Dallas turnovers. Warriors have taken great care of the ball. Very tough step back, and he got it right in Kidd's face.
Well, that's the thing. Jason Kidd knew what was coming. He knew exactly what Barron was going to do because Barron had to vacate the lane.
Warriors' biggest lead is right now. Driving, foul. Barnes will pick up the personal.
Just hate to bail out players who are going in, taking a shot. You know you've got other protection, so you reach across the body. And what you want to do is reach it first and then pull it back. He made him change his shot already by going in front of him. You just don't want to unnecessarily put people on the free throw line.
Austin Crozier, the former Maverick, was pretty active last night. Barnes will sit with 3 fouls. Credit Jason Terry. Originally, when he came to Dallas, the whole idea after the years in Atlanta was to be a starter and do all this. He's been the one guy. You want to be a start, come off the bench, do whatever. And he's accepted his role and excelled for the Mavericks.
He's very, very good in Atlanta. Got that big contract.
Buki. Cycle it to Monte looking for a seam. The elbow jumper is short, and Howard with the rebound. Final minute here in the first half. Josh Howard, another jumper. This one rattling out. Harrington with the rebound.
They got him to miss.
17 pacing Dallas.
They trade 2 for 1 here, and it'd be nice to have double-digit lead going to the bank.
Monte, a beautiful drive on Kidd and just couldn't finish. Oh, man. Brandon Bass pounding Monte Ellis. Another offensive foul, his 3rd.
He keeps getting put in jeopardy because they're moving before he's able to set the screen. I'm talking about his teammates. They're putting him in a position to fail.
Antoine Wright will check in for defense. Avery Johnson making sure Brandon Bass doesn't pick up a 4th foul. A little over 3-second differential. Don Nelson wants to milk it a little bit. Warriors have never led by double digits. Dallas had that early 13-point lead. The Warriors came storming back. Buki at 5 to shoot. Got Autumn up in the air. Turns it over. Josh Howard at 2. Crozier comes up with a steal, and the Warriors will take it. They come up with a key turnover, but they come up with a stop defensively. And so the Warrior lead is 8 as we hit the break. Who wins between Dallas, Denver, and the Warriors? These are the games you have to have. can you possibly forget a year ago as the Thunder boxing tournament continues to go on, but the wildest NBA playoff series you're ever going to see in the first round, historical in the first time in a 7-game series that a 1-team lost to an 8-team. And yet, when you watch these highlights, Matt, it seems like they're from years ago because Dallas is so different.
It really does. I mean, when's the last time a team that won 67 games the following year made a blockbuster trade in which they really tinkered with their entire makeup and foundation, if you will? But, you never get tired of these, Bob. I mean, it was a magical week and a half, 2 weeks.
The other thing, too, is a lot of the Warrior players are still factors, but do you get the sense that the Warriors are the better team now and that Dallas is no longer this dominant deal where the Warriors are this prohibitive underdog?
I've kind of thought all along that what the Warriors did to the Mavericks in this series changed the Mavericks in a way irreparably because they took away their invincibility a little bit. Like I said, this was a 67-win team, and the Warriors took them out in 6 games. Now, that works the other way, too. The league now knows the Warriors are for real, and they're not going to be able to sneak up on anybody. And I think you're seeing that down the stretch because these games are getting tougher and tougher, and they're obviously not a lock to make the playoffs. This is going to be a long haul these next 2-3 weeks.
I tell you, there was really, from the Bay Area standpoint, the confluence of the fans, the team, the specialness, calling those games just absolutely phenomenal. Now, don't mess with a mascot on their birthday because when you get into mascot boxing, look out for the quick left and the sucker punch. Andres Biedrich ready to take the court to begin the second half. Warriors up 8. And in the first half, Monte Ellis simply terrific, not only with the mid-range jumper, but getting out on the open floor. Monte has answered the bell in these big games, helping out Jackson and Barrett.
Well, he's got more speed than anybody on the floor. Devin Harris is no longer a Dallas Maverick, so he has free reign. I thought Andres Biedrich played extremely well inside tonight. Moved without the ball. The ball started hopping. They got down by 13 because Josh Howard and the Mavericks were hitting everything. There wasn't anything Warriors could do. Most of them outside shots. This is one inside the paint, but the Warriors have only given up 8 points inside the paint. I think that's terrific.
Yeah, that forward focus at the beginning, 8 of 10 shooting for Dallas, but then the Warriors held him 6 of 17. Jason Kidd really looking to distribute. Baron Davis has been a scorer and rebounding, but for the Warriors, other than the three-point shooting, or an excellent first half, and that's something where they limited their turnovers. They were able to get out and run, and if they just get off the three-point line or start hitting them, they'll have a bigger lead.
Well, they've done a good thing in making Dallas jump shooters, okay, and they're keeping them off the line. A few times in the second half they got there, but they've got to up-tempo the game because that brings Monte Ellis into play. Very balanced scoring tonight, and nice to see Al Harrington come back and get some offensive rebounds and create offense that way.
Yeah, the Warriors actually winning the rebounding battle, which has been terrific, but you have to limit Josh Howard in the second half. The Warrior lead is 8 with the third quarter on the way. Warrior lead is 8 as we get ready to start the second half. Moments ago, our Matt Steinmetz caught up with Warrior assistant Keith Smart.
All right, Coach, what do you have to do in the second half to kind of maintain the level of play in the second quarter rather than the first 5 minutes?
Well, we got our starters good rest, and they had to maintain their level of play the way they played the entire first half. And if we can do that and keep this game where it is right now, we'll have a good chance to win this game.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
I think that's the key for the Warriors, is the whole team playing at that consistently high level and not having a drop-off when they sub in and out and go with different matchups and combos. Monte Ellis pulling the string a little short to begin the second half. Baron Davis, Monte Ellis, Steven Jackson. Kalena Azubuike gets the start in the second half with Al Harrington. Dampier, Josh Howard, Jason Kidd, Malik Allen, and Jason Terry for the Mavericks. Dampier feeding inside. And Howard having a wonderful game with 19 to lead all scorers. And on Kidd with Dampier lurking. Steven Jackson throwing it away, so Terry played the passing lane nicely. Howard running again. Harrington denied him. And 3 in the lane. That was all Al Harrington. Didn't leave his feet, didn't commit a foul, didn't buy the pump fake, and saved a layup.
Dampier never moved. All they had to do was vacate along the baseline.
Warriors have had the edge in play. They forced 11 Dallas turnovers, committed only 3, but the lead not very comfortable as Harrington misses the 3. Monte Ellis sneaks in among 3 Dallas players. Barron rebounding his own miss in a thicket of Mavericks, and he draws a foul. Monte with the offensive rebound. Barron missed the shot and got the rebound, and then draws the foul with 3 larger blue jerseys hanging around.
Well, this sequence kind of sums it up. You think Baron Davis is determined, goes after it again amongst 3 players inside, and finally Dampier grabs. He could have thrown it out any time, Bob, but he was a matter of wills there. It was the battle of the wills, and he won.
Barron missing the free throw. Mercedes-Benz first half summary. Fast break points, just dominant.
Yeah, that's why we talk about that. Push the ball. They're so much better when they do it.
The Warriors 14 of 16 free throwing. Dallas 11 of 14. Warriors' biggest lead has been 9. Mavericks had that 13-point lead early. You notice it in the second quarter, Jim. The tempo's kind of slowing and getting into that grinding Mavericks pace. Malik Allen missing there. Monte with a defensive rebound.
Dampier thought he had it smothered.
Ellis to the rim.
He just makes people retreat.
Monte 16 leading the Warriors. They're taking a turn on Josh Howard. These are the ISO plays they would run for Nowitzki. Howard will get himself to the line. Barron will pick up the foul.
For the most part, they're just playing him straight up, and they're not doubling until he comes into the lane.
Barron's 3rd foul as Devin George checks in.
Monte coming at Jason Terry. A little hesitation, and then the little lower the head and drive.
Now that last replay of Monte, I just remember you talking about his first couple years. You don't always have to be in a hurry. You don't have to go 100 miles an hour. You just see there. Change of pace, change gear, downshift, and then speed up again. It's all watching him grow up.
Change of pace, change of direction.
Howard hitting both free throws. He's been perfect from the foul line, 6 of 6. So Josh Howard with 21. No other Maverick in double figures. 4 Warriors in double figure scoring. Mavs a little zone look initially themselves here.
A lot of dribbling.
Monte. How did he make that? He shed Terry and still able to make it.
He's very quick at regaining his balance after making the move and after getting knocked around.
Biggest lead right now at 9, equaled again. Terry from the baseline and shoots the air ball.
Monte Ellis got lost on the play, took a shortcut, and Terry just backed out. Had probably the easiest shot he's seen, and just didn't make it.
Monte and a terrific defender now in Josh Howard with Kidd lurking. Barron inside, back to Ellis, never came back down. Barron tipped it up and in.
How's that for staying with the play? Barron thought for sure Monte's going to make that, and he follows up.
First double-digit lead of the ball game, back end of a back-to-back for the Warriors, and yet Baron Davis still has what the coaches call the bounce. Monte able to score on runners, and the Warriors working inside, and the smaller Warriors getting to the glass. And the Warriors' first double-digit lead comes at a good time. A nice burst out of the halftime locker room, leading by 11, and a new beginning for the Giants. Baseball's opening day and Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Authentic opening day and the rebranding of the channel. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. at AT&T Park, you can take batting practice on the field. First 5,000 fans receive a hot dog on demand. And speaking of on demand, an hour or two after every Warrior ball game, miss any part of the game, want to watch it again, free service courtesy of Comcast. Well, Baron Davis, let's talk elevation at the rim. That's your point guard in amongst Dampier and the big guys to tip in that offensive rebound. The Warriors have a 25-20 advantage on the glass.
Well, what says more about Baron is he never gave up on the play and assuming that Monte was going to make it. I think Monte was surprised that he got the ball from Barron in that situation, and he was wide open. Ellis was disappointed that he missed the shot.
Devin George with Kidd. They post up Josh Howard. Monte nearly had the steal.
Went to the right spot, didn't he?
And you talk about rotations. That was perfect. Only 4 to shoot.
Yeah. Coaches have no problem with that. On the job training for Monte Ellis.
They ran a play for Josh Howard in the first half with the shot clock winding down. Allen beating the shot clock but missing. The Warriors really expand the lead. Jackson down the lane, and he was fouled as the pass was shot, and it will be a shot.
Well, excellent defense when the shot clock was winding down to 3 seconds. They held their ground. They kept them out of the paint, which they've been doing a good job all night long. Didn't bail them out and foul on the shot. Said, okay, if you make it, then you earn it. He knew they were rushing. They felt that he was rushing a little bit, and they got the ball, and now it results in 2 free throws this way.
One of your keys last night was all those easy points in the paint by Denver.
Yes.
The Mavericks only 10 points in the paint for the whole game tonight.
Right. That's superb. That's what I said at halftime, that they've made them jump shooters, and that's good. If you can keep a team primarily on the perimeter, you're in much better shape.
A rare Steven Jackson free throw miss in the first one, making the second, 84% on the season.
Not only preventing scoring in the paint, but fast breaks. Mavericks had 2 points in fast breaks. So you're going to win that battle most of the time if you have those numbers. Got the team.
Jump on Terry. Feeding Malik Allen inside. Allen lost the handle. Harrington bothered him just enough. Aaron down the lane, putting it up, and he will get to the line. Warriors have also taken only 1 3 here in the first 4 minutes of the third.
There's that hesitation, and then the roll with the right hand. Unusual little move, and you think possibly that he's coming back with a crossover, and he goes the same direction. Just a little hesitation and a misdirection, if you will, off that dribble. You just want to keep extending this lead. Just keep building it.
Well, I keep waiting. At some point in the back end of a back-to-back, you're going to have that, we're gassed a little bit. So you want to have a little pad. I mean, the Mavericks are going to make a run. Every team in the NBA seems to. You just want to have...
If they do, it won't be because the Warriors are tired. They'll do it because they get it going.
Kid right around Barron. Harrington, what a block! Al Harrington has been terrific.
Then he pulled a Mutombo. Numero uno. Beautiful. Separated from his body.
Barron from deep. Azubuike in there banging. And a good tough rebound by Devin George.
They're going to double this. And they're going to go to a zone.
Terry missing the jumper. The Warriors forcing miss after miss. They keep padding the advantage. Playing with their largest lead of the game right now. Azubuike, the pump fake. Couldn't get the angle. Fouling Kid in the open court. When Azubuike 6 points, 4 rebounds tonight. This will be the 6th game out of 7 Kalena has played more than 25 minutes. And I think this is an astounding accomplishment with the Warriors on back-to-backs. To be 10-8 after being 5-17 last year speaks of, as you like to say, Jim, the mental toughness of the team.
Yep. Harrington could not avoid a foul here. Jason Terry did a great job of creating the contact.
Warriors' 3rd team foul, Al's 2nd. Jason Terry averaging a shade under 15 points a game this year. 85% from the foul line. Dallas will play the Clippers tomorrow. Warriors get on a plane to go to San Antonio. Warriors play the Spurs on Tuesday. We'll see the very same Mavericks on Wednesday.
Spurs have won 7 in a row, and they are really tough at home.
And we want to say hello to all the Denver Nuggets watching tonight, because you know they are.
Well, if it doesn't go in, you got nothing going because he didn't swing the ball and nobody moved.
Steven kept jabbing and couldn't hit the jumper there. Kid thought about the three, setting up Jason Terry from distance. Harrington, good rebound, better outlet. Aaron around Malik Allen, hanging, unable to finish that. And Devin George with the rebound.
He was worried about a charge, and it would have been a block.
Devin George through traffic, dropping it off. Nice play, Devin George. So the Mavericks hanging around, have it to 10.
Instead of going to 14, it comes back to 10 because of that missed drive a moment ago.
And poked away by Josh Howard, so the Mavericks playing the defense now. Jackson's behind the play. Howard will draw the foul and put it in. And now a technical foul on Jackson. This could be...
He's got to watch. Someone's got to get a hold of him right now.
This could end up being a 4-point sequence.
He's still talking, or he was. Poke away. You can't count on an official bailing you out on that. You got to protect the ball. And a little ticky-tack foul from Monte Ellis, and Howard has a chance for the 3-point play.
So the bucket is good, that's 2. The technical free throw is good, that's 3. And now the and 1 free throw, this could be 4. And just as we were talking about, the run by Dallas, as the Warriors kind of lagging a bit, 7 straight. The 14-point lead has been trimmed in half. Biedrich in. Josh Howard with 23 has been perfect from the foul line. So here you go, 8 straight by the Mavs, and talking about will there be a Warrior lull, and here it is. Monte rattling that out. Knocked away, but ricochets right to George. Terry on the crossover. Kidd to the rim to lay it up and out, and Biedrich with the rebound. Warriors very fortunate. And then Monte end to end.
He sees an opening, and he just seizes the opportunity.
Big 4-point sequence. Kidd missing the layup. Monte streaking the other way. How do you guard him?
He's just become a really good mid-range jump shooter. He has become terrific at that.
Jumped at Steven Jackson. Jackson in traffic, still made it. Remember, Jackson has 1 T. He cannot get involved in the officiating game. And the Warriors can ill afford to lose him. Terry putting it in. The tempo quickening, and the Warriors don't mind that. The Mavericks staying right with them. Knocked away. Howard committing the foul.
And that was a break for the Warriors. That was anybody's ball up in the air. Ball's tipped up. Oh, Howard came into his body, into the side of his head.
Aaron will rest right now. Monte will run things. Matt Barnes in. Azubuike, Biedrich, Jackson. And Monte Ellis. Barron with 14 points, 5 rebounds. Monte Ellis, the money man tonight. He's got 22 on 10 of 18 shooting.
So possibly they're going to fresher legs because he's only 22. He's got a lot of hops there. He's becoming a go-to guy. Second half, fourth quarter.
Terry went up, had nowhere to go. Kidd from deep, and does he make threes against anyone else?
Well, since he's come over to Dallas, he has been superb. On the year, 37.5. In Dallas, 47%. How do you explain it?
Been shooting 36% for the season when he was traded, the worst of his career from the field. Azubuike from deep. Biedrich, a new possession, and a great offensive rebound. Barnes down the lane to lay it in. Andres Biedrich and Barnes, role players helping the Warriors tonight.
Those are the plays that help you win games.
Nick Allen missing. Rebound, Biedrich again. Keep the pressure on the Mavericks. Monte is fouled by Kidd in the open floor. That'll be the 5th team foul, so free throws for the Warriors.
Shot goes long, and Biedrich just fought for position. And a beautiful drop-back pass to a cutting Matt Barnes. Heads-up play by both players.
Well, I was just going to say, okay, Andres has fallen out of bounds, got to save it. If Barnes doesn't move, the ball's turned over.
Right.
I mean, it's great teamwork right there, and heady play by Matt.
These guys are great athletes, and they know how to look at an opportunity and turn it in their favor. But that's just hard work by Andres.
Juwan Howard in. Howard was with Houston, traded to Minnesota, then bought out there, and then signed as a free agent. Busy year for him transaction-wise. Monte splitting free throws, his first miss. 3 of 4. Kidd, a rare Jason Kidd turnover. So the Warriors had it to 14. Mavericks got it all the way down to 6. The Warriors trying to keep the pressure on with Barron getting a rest. Monte Ellis in on Kidd, putting it in! It's against a premier point guard defender in Jason Kidd.
Howard waited for the screen there for Bass. Now he repositions. He wants the shot.
Monte coming to help. Shot clock at 8. Kidd is open again. He's hit a couple. Missing the 3. Biedrich, good rebound. And he kept it away from Brandon Bass. Inside, working with Jackson.
What a job he did protecting the ball from Jason Terry.
They rebuild the double-digit lead, a 7-0 Warrior run. Mandatory timeout, 2:32 remaining in the third. And Biedrich with the rebound and the assist and the excellence of the role players in Monte tonight. Warriors rebuilding that double-digit lead, 2:32 remaining in the third. And Matt Steinmetz, you need all hands on deck at this point of the season, and the Warriors have had some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, Michael Pietrus has missed the last few games with that groin/hamstring injury. He's going to miss the first 2 games of the upcoming trip because of that. Now, Don Nelson was asked about these injuries, or that injury in particular, before the game. He said he wasn't really that concerned with Pietrus's injury. Not that he didn't care about it, but he said he's more concerned with the fatigue factor over the season and how it's affecting the big minute guys. That's why I think it's important, regardless of Pietrus, that they get something out of Crozier and maybe even Brandon Wright here and there, Barnes and Azubuike, because Don Nelson is really worried that his team is kind of wearing down because they've all been playing 40-plus minutes, especially the big 3 guys.
Well, the one thing, Matt, is after the San Antonio-Dallas, that's the last back-to-back of the season for the Warriors, and I think that's a great sign. I mean, it's 4 games in 5 nights, but they get through that. Every other game, they have a day off before the game as Jason Terry scores there.
Yeah, Pietrus has not played since the March 21st game against Houston, so he's missed, including tonight, the last 5. But you know what? All the physical fatigue, as Monte just short-armed that, almost got fouled on the play, and he was concerned about the pressure defense. You know what mounts is the mental fatigue over the length of a season, and then the stress that you're under continually trying to get a playoff berth.
Yeah, I mean,
and that wears you out also mentally.
How many telecasts can we open with they have to get this game tonight? Right. I mean, don't think the players don't feel that each and every matchup.
Absolutely, and that takes a little fatigue.
Brandon Bass, a rugged player tonight.
Well, that's a nice crossover move. He understands triple threat. Faced up.
2nd round pick out of LSU. Played 2 years for the Hornets and then signed with Dallas as a free agent. I think Bass, his best days are ahead of him. As Monte, bothered by Kidd on back-to-back jumpers. There go to this Bass matchup. He's been good with 8 points off the bench.
Faces up again. He plays like a smaller man in that position.
Missing there. Warriors, every stoppage, trying to run it back. Azubuike hanging and finishing. Glenn Azubuike with 8 off the bench. Biedrins with 8. Harrington with 11. The other players helping out the big three tonight.
Azubuike does that very differently than Monte Ellis. He doesn't go all the way nearly as often, but he knows how to pull up and get it off softly off the glass.
Cycling it around. Kidd with the pump fake. Steps in. Missing the jumper. Bass with the rebound. We had a foul on Barnes. Warriors over the limit. Barnes will pick up his 4th personal. So Brandon Bass averaged just 2 points a game each of the first 2 years with the Hornets. And the second rounders sometimes can find a different home. You can guarantee a seat to see the Warriors in the playoffs. Placing a deposit towards next year's season tickets. Log on to Warriors.com or 888-GSW-HOOP. The 28th sellout of the season tonight. 19,852. Standing room only crowd. It's Tyronn Lue checking in. Warriors led by 1 at the end of 1, coming from 13 down. Led by 8 at halftime. Pushed it as high as 14. Brandon Bass with 10 off the bench in only 13 minutes.
He's a worker.
Monte floating over Bass, but off iron. So Monte's missed his last 3.
You have to love someone who's not afraid to take the shot in crunch time. Monte is initiating most of the shots now. He's not deferring. Sometimes he defers a little bit, gets in trouble.
Terry missing. Rebound Monte Ellis. Warriors can play for 1. They have that very same 8-point halftime lead right now. Jackson checks. And that will do it. So the Warriors pushed it up to 14. Mavericks got it back to 6. And the 8-point halftime lead becomes an 8-point lead heading into the 4th. Led by 25 for Monte Ellis. 12 more minutes of work to get it done tonight. Chili's essential ingredients, and yes, Warrior basketball is where Montezing happens, but pushing the ball, Jim, I think you're right on the money.
Yep, 3.5 times as many points off the break. The straight-up defense, the turnovers, really good in that respect, but they haven't had to do a lot of gimmicks tonight. And protecting the paint, how about twice as many points in the paint? They've come through in those categories.
So the Warriors, though, an 8-point lead, still very precarious. Brandon Bass just continues to draw fouls.
I'm going to tie in the points in the paint and the straight-up defense. What's it mean, straight-up defense? Then you're not having to rotate over, giving up easy hoops, which a lot of times result in threes. They've only made 5, Dallas, and it results in not giving up easy hoops right around the basket.
So Matt Barnes with 5 fouls in 18 minutes, and primarily trying to deal with Brandon Bass, who for the 3rd straight game against the Warriors has a double-figure scoring night.
He's an athletic, undersized man, but not under strength. And he's got a lot of quickness for him.
And he used a nice word describing Al Harrington. Brandon Bass is decisive. He doesn't waste time. He's got a distinctive mindset to be aggressive and go in there, as Barnes will sit out and Harrington back in. And an 81% free thrower at 6'8", 240. An extra bonus. Missing the second free throw. So Harrington, Barron back in with Jackson, Biedrins, and Azubuike. Glenn Azubuike's played 31 minutes tonight.
He plays both ends of the floor. Don liked him last night.
Barron taking Lue inside. Biedrins, another rebound. Jackson, Antoine Wright. Stephen Jack in traffic, but he traveled.
Now Jackson is trying to make things happen, but he's trying to manufacture. This is an error of just aggressiveness. But the ball has to be moving a little bit more. And if they swing that ball around, Biedrus wanted it on the other side. He had something going to someone else.
Warriors only have 13 assists and their 31 made field goals, so a lot of individual play tonight. Terry, nice shovel inside. The missed layup. Azubuike kept it alive, and then Barron was fouled. If Kalena Azubuike doesn't tip that away, the Mavericks get the follow lay-in.
Well, they missed an easy lay-in after the penetration and dish off.
Bass will pick up his 4th foul. So a 7-point lead a minute into the 4th.
If you can't beat the Mavericks without Nowitzki, how are you ever going to beat them again? And without Stackhouse, too. Add that in.
Barron working on Tyronn Lue, uses the strength, puts it up and in, draws the foul. You don't always have to post big men. When you've got a guard with this kind of strength, you can put your point guard down on the block.
Let's watch Tyronn Lue. He's got good position there. They called the foul there. Barron's very fortunate to be going to the line here, and it could have well been sent the other way, because Lue was in between him and the basket.
Barron missing the free throw. So the Warriors 18 of 23 from the line. Going to Brandon Bass. He has been just wonderful. Harrington on Josh Howard. Putting it up and in and drawing the foul.
That's more legitimate there.
So Al, again, quick, decisive.
Well, he worked hard to get that deep position. He worked hard. He's already in the lane, so he doesn't have to put the ball on the floor, and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt more often if you just jump up and then go towards your shot. So Howard did not have a chance in that one. Nice play.
So Al Harrington, the bounce back game. And dropping in the free throw. Make Bass catch it further away this time. Trying to use length of Biedrus. You don't want to get into doubling, as Jim was talking about, playing straight up defense. Josh Howard, little push shot, a rebound. We'll have a jump ball.
Well, you know it's Biedrus, and the odds are it's going to be the guy who's the most aggressive in the Dallas uniform, and that's Bass. Challenge the shot. Bass just strong arms it inside, and you got to like this young man.
Where does Andres want to try to tip this if he can?
He's going to go right back between. Well, he's got a choice. He's got the whole half moon there, if you will. From all the way from Al Harrington over to Jackson. It's going to go right back to Barron.
Bleak Allen in for Antoine Wright.
Dallas is definitely in a defensive-minded tip. But all of a sudden, it got tapped twice, and Biedrus missed it on the first time.
And so now Bass wants it again. A little pick and roll with Jason Terry. Kidd passing up for Howard, missing the three. Barron with a rebound in motion. Barron, the extra gear on Kidd, and he will draw the blocking foul. Baron Davis comes up a little hobbled. Gingerly walking on that left ankle.
Now Barron really didn't have anywhere to go driving in there. Now Kidd's anticipating which way. So there's the collision. And he stepped on the foot of Howard. That could have been scary.
Baron Davis has played every game for the Warriors this year. The only Warrior to have played in every game after having seasons where his durability was questioned and a lot of nagging injuries, but he has been the Iron Man this year. So the lead pushed back to 12. Pace has all been Mavericks here in the second half, though. Josh Howard floating. Rebound to Azubuike. Warriors look to push again. Kalena around Kidd, but he bothered him with it, and Terry comes up with a steal. Beautiful touch pass to Josh Howard.
Well, sometimes you try to do a little too much. He does not have, Azubuike doesn't have quite the speed that Monte Ellis possesses. And I'm not sure he saw Terry on the outside.
Monte getting the rest right now.
Tough to beat Terry and Kidd.
Don Nelson's gone with essentially 7 guys tonight. Jackson inside. Biedrins there to clean it up.
Watch it.
Delay of game on the Warriors as Jackson touched the ball. Stevens getting close here. He's gotten 1 tee and the delay of game, and there's a long way to go in this game. Warriors will go to his own look. Kidd left alone and buries another 3. But Jason Kidd, all 3 of his field goals are 3s, and he's got 11 and 11.
That's what he's been doing recently.
Much more of a set shot for him, and then he broke up what was going to be an alley-oop to Azubuike. Kidd with a beautiful steal. Harrington, a no-look deflection, and Terry comes up with the ball. Howard from the baseline, and Harrington the rebound. And Al leading the break. Harrington to Jackson to put it in, and behind the play, we have a foul.
On whom?
Harrington will pick up the foul, take away the lay-in. 8:16 remaining in the ball game. Jason Kidd hitting 3s, leading the Mavericks back. Biedrins cleaning it up, but the work not done for the Warriors yet. Well, Al Harrington called for the push-off, negating the Steven Jackson layup. So it remains at 9 with 8:16 remaining in the ball game. But we've talked about when the Warriors move the ball, they can be so much better. And Biedrins becomes a factor. Players moving without it. And the Warriors just a better offensive team when the ball's hopping around.
Without the dribble, you move the ball, you move the defenders. And they can't catch up to the pass nearly as easily as when someone dribble drives, dribble penetration, or just goes one-on-one to finish.
Well, nearly a stellar end-to-end play by Harrington, but here's what Joe Forte saw.
Now, the reason Harrington did that, you see he had the left hand dribble. He wanted to protect the ball. It felt a little bit of pressure there and wanted to release that pressure, but they're both side by side, a little bit of contact. Really didn't affect the play. The ball is being passed. Warriors, they've had a couple breaks themselves, so you play through it.
9-point game with 8 minutes to go.
I hope they've learned not to leave Kidd alone. The 3-point range.
Malik Allen, who started the game so hot, now has a dozen on 5 of 10 shooting.
He's a pretty good catch-and-shoot player.
It's an interesting time at the 8-minute mark. Warriors could have had the 11-point lead. And Allen holding on to Biedrins. Now, the nice thing here is the Warriors have gotten into the bonus with a lot of time left in the ball game.
Just flashing into the post, into the middle. All tied up. Biedrins couldn't untie himself, and now he gets a chance at the line.
Well, Andra 17 and 17 last night. Another double-double tonight with 10 and 12. And now's the free throw in. Well, the Warrior basketball camps, the summer sessions, boys and girls ages 8 to 16, to get $20 off each session if you sign up by May 30th, and 2 tickets to a preseason game for next year. Log on to Warriors.com. And Biedrins perfect from the line. Andres with 12 and 12. Got 12 points on 6 shots.
Those are 2 important free throws for Andres there.
And Biedrins nearly knocked it away. Brandon Bass recovers with 10 to shoot. Bass unable to shoot over Biedrins like Barnes, and a foul on the Warriors on the rebound. Harrington will pick up his 4th. Warrior team fouls. Azubuike, Harrington, Barron, Jackson, and Biedrins. Josh Howard leading the way for Dallas. He's got 28 with the ball.
They're playing that zone like they did last night against Carmelo Anthony when Howard has the ball.
Bass inside, and another foul.
They went to the zone look and brought Biedrins over and played Howard like they did Anthony. Well, Biedrins just couldn't avoid contact. And Bass turned his back and got the contact on the backside.
Brandon Bass is doing what you talk about, Jim. If you happen to be a good foul shooter at 81%, he loves the bump and grind.
Sure.
Go in there and mix it up.
You do something really silly. If you get contact, you're the one that's going to benefit if you're the offensive player.
Harrington with 4 fouls. Barnes has 5. Monte Ellis back in. Harrington, though, is 14-9, huge. With the Andres 12-12 and Azubuike getting 8 and 6. It's a different story than last night. And Bass knocking down a couple free throws.
Just keeps them within striking distance. Warriors are going to have to score a few more points here.
8-point lead at halftime. 8-point lead at the end of 3, but just can't shed the Mavericks.
Middle of the zone, that's where Barron operates.
Azubuike dangerous to drive against Kidd, finding Monte. Shot clock at 5. Ellis from the baseline. Monte's missed his last 4 shots. Monte nearly to steal. Terrific anticipation of Kidd kicking it out to the corner.
Gets acquainted with the people in the corner. He knew exactly where that was going. The kid's not trying to finish driving layups. He's trying to set people up.
Now driving again.
This is probably going to be on Ellis.
Putting it in.
Biedrins was there.
Count the bucket and the foul, and Brandon Bass has 17.
Biedrins did a great job moving his feet, established the position, and I have no idea why Ellis came in to try to help on the big guy.
Josh Howard 28, but Brandon Bass
has become the Kenyon Martin of tonight.
18 off the bench in 19 minutes for Brandon Bass, and the Warriors, you can just sense the pensiveness in the building. Fans are more than nervous here. Monte down the lane, and he will draw the blocking foul. Also succeeded in slowing the game down, going half court to half court, keeping the Warriors out of the running game. Warriors had 25 fast break points through 3 quarters, but only 2 halfway through the 4th here. Monte with his first 4th quarter point.
There's enthusiasm in here tonight, but there's definitely an air of seriousness.
Yeah, well, I think that the fans are as nerve-wracked as the Warrior players. Second free throw miss. Warriors 24 of 30, 80% from the line.
And they all know what's at stake.
Brandon Bass missing there, but Kidd with the offensive rebound. Terry from deep. And Azubuike is fouled. So Glenn Azubuike on the defensive boards. Lake Allen will pick up the foul, and Azubuike to shoot 2 more free throws. That'll take us to a stoppage with 5:54 remaining in the game. Can the Warriors eke one out against the Mavs? Brandon Bass giving Dallas plenty off the bench. Warrior lead is 5 with Azubuike set to shoot a couple free throws. Matt Steinmetz on the baseline, and Matt, Brandon Bass, Kenyon Martin, these other players really hurting the Warriors the last 2 nights.
Ronnie Turiaf, Paul Millsap. I mean, it's a long list of athletic front court players that give the Warriors a lot of trouble. And you wonder who the Warriors have to counter that. And one name that constantly comes up is Brandon Wright. Again tonight, Don Nelson was asked about about Brandon Wright and whether he was going to play, and he said he probably would play tonight because he liked some of the matchups against Dallas. Now, of course, Brandon hasn't played tonight, and once again, Nelson was asked why he hasn't played more this season. And Nelson said, look, we made a decision as a franchise early in the season that we wanted to make the playoffs, and that's the way we were going to go about things. And he said that one of the reasons that they're in this playoff race is because that's the approach they took. He just feels like playing Brandon Wright may have cost him a few games along the line. And, 2 or 3 games costed at this point, and you're not in the playoff race. That's Nelson's story, and he's sticking to it. And boy, when he gets asked about that time and time again, he chuckles about it now.
Well, down the road, Brandon Wright's going to be a monster factor for the Warriors. He and Biedrins are going to provide some length and wingspan, and both left-handed, too, and both good runners, shot blockers.
They got to improve little jump shots, and Brandon Wright is getting better at that. But this, right now, Don Nelson wants experience.
The Warriors 7 of 10 free throwing in the fourth. Azubuike splits a pair. There's nothing wrong with your TV set. They're actually doing the wave at Oracle. We've not seen that this season.
This comes over.
Wide open Josh Howard, and not the man to leave. 30-point night for Josh Howard, and they're jumping away from the hottest Maverick.
Just because he threw the ball doesn't mean you have to just rotate away. Momentarily, they had 3 men in his vicinity, and the next minute, or the next second, there were none.
Well, Dallas can smell it right now. The Warriors are absolutely playing with fire. Barron from deep, and a huge three. Baron Davis with 21.
Before the game, Barron finally gets fed up and says, okay, I'll do it. And he's so capable.
Now Barron's got Josh Howard this time down. Howard rolling and finishing.
Biedrins is coming over, and he's concerned about the 3-second defensive violation. He's got to step out of the lane but stay on the same side as Howard. They did it beautifully last night.
The Warriors do get to triple digits. They keep that streak alive. Monte, beautiful deal.
What a play. They thought he was going to come off a screen, come from down to up. Instead, Terry got hung up. He went back door.
Dallas going to keep riding Howard here as they normally would Nowitzki. Brandon Bass. Work on Biedrins. Working inside. Another foul. He's fouled, and he puts it in again. Brandon Bass has a new career high.
He is coming alive every moment here, playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. He looked like he'd been around for 10 years.
His career high was 19 until this bucket went down. He's got 20, and he's got 10 in the fourth quarter.
His arm was arced over, and he got the contact, and he's so strong it didn't bother him at all.
So Brandon Bass with 21 on 6 of 11 shooting and 9 of 12 free throwing. And it's back to 4 again. Aaron Kidd fades, fires, rims it out. Unfortunately, Brandon Bass touched it, and the Warriors get a new 24 on the ball. Inside 4 minutes, and the tension palpable. The Warriors have enough. Back end of a back-to-back. Have to have a game against the Mavs.
No hurry here. Got a new 24.
Azubuike for 3. Good! Galena Azubuike with a dozen. He's played 40 minutes tonight.
He got that one up in the air, and that helped a lot. Gave it a better chance.
Josh Howard, they want Bass again. Biedrins not letting him get the ball. Now on the repost. Jackson, an excuse-me foul on Josh Howard, but that'll be free throws. Jackson will pick up his first personal.
You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. Okay. You converge inside. Azubuike got this up in the air. Last night he missed so many threes because they were a little bit flat, hitting the front of the rim. And to be precise, he was 0-5 from three-point range last night.
What an amazing game for Josh Howard. 8 of 8 free throwing, 33 points, 8 rebounds. Free throwing just getting better and better. All aspects of his game. And the All-Star team a year ago.
He's getting the shots right now that Nowitzki usually takes.
And Howard burying them both. Lead at 5 with 3.5 left.
And as I said before, the Warriors better keep scoring.
Credit Dallas for controlling the tempo in the second half. And the Warriors trying to grind one out.
They're just kind of surveying the situation.
Monte on Kidd, hanging. Kidd played him perfectly. Biedrins the rebound, and he's fouled.
What defense on Monte Ellis to make him and force him into that kind of shot.
Monte and Kidd having a nice conversation.
He had to double clutch, hang, and had no chance.
Biedrins.
Big play, wasn't it? Andres, who is... How about him from the line tonight? I'm not going to jinx him.
Biedrins 13 and 13, coming off the 17 and 17 last night. Your 21-year-old Biedrins with 13. Your 22-year-old Ellis with 28. And he's perfect from the line.
I knew you were going to wait. Smart move.
Broadcasting jinx. You're not going to put that one out.
Give us his numbers.
6 of 6 free throwing.
How about that? Terry's 1 of 5 from three-point range. They've been lucky in that department.
Howard at the elbow has Biedrins on the mismatch. He'll back it out. He'll cycle it to Terry for 3.
Oh, he's 1 for 6. He's very fortunate Terry has not been hot.
So now, working clock and score here. Monte to Azubuike again. He comes through again. A deep 2 for Kalena. Timeout Dallas. The Warriors have put 6 players in double figures. Harrington and Azubuike have combined for 28 tonight. A different night than Denver. And the Warrior lead at 9. Mandatory timeout in a game they have to have. And the Warriors push it to 9. And Kalena Azubuike has been big down the stretch. Well, the Warrior lead is 9 with 2:24 left. And we always talk about these basketball games like they're life and death. But for Christopher Rodriguez at 10 years of age, hit by a stray bullet on January 10th and paralyzed from the waist down. And after reading about it, Baron Davis went and visited him in the hospital and didn't want any media to know about it, didn't want anything written about it, and just said, hey, let's get you out to a game. And he's sitting right with the Warriors owner, Chris Cohan, right at center court and courtside. And
that was a tragic story. And just a young piano player, basketball player. It was great for Baron Davis to take him in.
Josh Howard hitting the jumper there. Chris Rodriguez, a stray bullet while he was sitting playing the piano in his house.
A robbery across the street at never mind.
Monte Ellis laying it in. A 30-point night for Monte. Jackson knocking it away. 100 seconds left in the ball game. Howard again, an air ball. Kids knifing through, but Biedrins with the quicker hands.
Now you use some time. You're going to use about 20 seconds of your 24.
Avery Johnson has seen only one team have a winning record against him, and that's the Warriors at 10 and 6. And they're a minute 16 away as Barron's 3 is an air ball.
Drive the ball. They don't want to foul you.
Kid just wanting to get a foul.
That's how you do it.
Stopping the clock. Chance to cut it into the deficit.
Just run in, jump in, and go to the line.
Marines.com. The triple-double leaders. Jason Kidd, 12 this year from LeBron. I think he could do that whenever he wants.
Jason Kidd has 99 in his career. That's third on the all-time list, behind Oscar and Magic. And that's all you need to say.
12 points, 14 assists, 8 rebounds for Kidd.
It's not over yet.
Nope. It's a 3-possession game, but the Warriors are going to need one more bucket. Monte on Brandon Bass, crosses him over. Knifing inside to Biedrins. Beautiful play by Monte Ellis for his 5th assist.
He's not a point guard, but that's a pretty good impersonation.
Andres Biedrins 16 and 14. Monte with 30 and 5. Timeout Dallas with 47.2. And the Warriors, they just don't lose back-to-back games. What a bounce back from the night in Denver. Well, the Oracle's been good to the Warriors, but the resiliency in not losing back-to-back games since January 2nd and 4th. And a disheartening loss in Denver to bounce back behind 30 for Monte Ellis. And just monster games from Azubuike. The Warriors do have more wins coming back from double digits than any team in the league. Terry from deep. He's had an off night shooting threes. Tyronn Lue will track it down. Aaron went for the steal. Ricochets off of Brandon Bass. Josh Howard putting it up and out. Azubuike with the rebound, and he is fouled. And that'll give us a chance to tell you about Kelena Azubuike's night. 43 minutes for Azubuike. And part of our Fry's Electronics HD defining moments of the game. Really, Jim, you could say 2 of the biggest shots in the 4th quarter as Dallas cut it to 4. It was Azubuike both times.
And I thought he hit a big shot in the 1st quarter when the Warriors made a little comeback when he came onto the floor.
He cut it to 7 after they had been down 13 by hitting that 3, caused Dallas to take a timeout. And Don Nelson going with Azubuike for 43 minutes. 6 of the last 7 games, Kelena's played 25 minutes or more.
And last night, we knew it was an aberration with 3 of 15 shooting. He's a better shooter than that, just had an off night. But he can play defense, and that's why Don can afford to leave him on the floor, because he can help you at the other end as well.
10 wins in March for the Warriors. Azubuike misses the free throw.
It looks like the Mavericks now are going to go 0-10 against teams who are above 500 with their record.
I hate that stat, though, because it's going to come to an end at some point.
Yep.
When the Warriors see Dallas on Wednesday.
I expect the Warriors to play better in Dallas than they did tonight. How's that? At least at the start of the game.
I'll tell you what, the Warriors better have an answer for Brandon Bass as Brandon Wright holds that rebound. Bass had 21, Josh Howard had 36. But for the Warriors, 45 and 28. Dallas, 45 and 28. Denver, 45 and 28.
You're repeating yourself.
Let's have a 9-game season and determine who gets to the playoffs. They win at 114-104. Warriors put 6 players in double digits. They get 30 from Monte Ellis. The usual brilliance for Barron with 21, 6, and 4, but Azubuike with 15 and 7. And Harrington with 14 and 9. Biedrins 16 and 14. Those were key. And what a nice story for Christopher Rodriguez sitting courtside as a guest of Baron Davis and Chris Cohan, and seeing what up to this point was the most important win of the season.
Yes.
With 9 more games remaining, and we'll be repeating ourselves a lot about most important games.
But this one really was, because this is your home court, and you just don't want to get behind the 8 ball going out on a road trip. It's going to be tough in San Antonio. Everyone accepts that.
Well, for the Warriors, missing the first 10 shots, getting down 10-0. Jason Kidd hit some key threes, but limiting turnovers. And really, Matt Steinmetz in the 4th quarter, they grounded out. But I think it was the start of Al Harrington that kind of ignited the team.
Yeah, Al, I guess, first of all, are they all going to be like this down the stretch?
I hope so. All W's. If we do that, we're going to make sure we're in the playoffs.
Now, you've been struggling a little bit with your shooting. Has a finger been bothering you, or the fingers?
Yeah, I sprained my thumb pretty bad, but, the team needs me right now, so I'm going to play through whatever pain I got to play through.
Did you make a conscious decision tonight to do other things? You obviously were on the boards and playing defense and doing a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, definitely. My job lately has been to stand in the corner and space the floor, but I feel like I got to do other things and, just be more active and be more productive offensively for this team.
Now, it seems like, obviously, when you get contributions from you and Kalena Azubuike, it's a totally different team. Have you guys talked about you guys needing to step up your play?
We talk about it all the time. We got a big three. Them guys, bring it every night, but, they 75, 80 points and it'll be enough, so other guys got to step in.
Has last year's run, the 16-5 finish, kind of given you confidence these last 3 weeks? Does that mean anything heading toward the home stretch?
It means a lot to us. And if you know this team, we're very confident, so we feel that, we're going to make it. So we just got to go out here and win these games.
They got a big road trip coming up. Obviously, 4 games. Starts in San Antonio Tuesday. What's the goal? What are you looking to do?
The goal is 4-0, baby. You got to come back. You got to get every win.
All right, Al, thanks a lot. Bob and Jim.
I think Al Harrington, he talked about the confidence. It'll be tested as they get ready for this 4-game road trip. But one other player kicking in tonight, it was more than one. It was Harrington as well as Kalena Azubuike and Andras Biedrins. And what confidence for Don Nelson to go back to Azubuike. Is 44 minutes more than any other Warrior. And you said it, Jim, plays both ends of the floor, 15 points, 7 rebounds. And how good did it feel to hit those 2 key shots? Kalena's been good in the fourth quarter really all year long.
And Monte Ellis is in the middle of all that. The drive and the dish out there. They can count on Azubuike. Josh Howard, 36 points. You expected that tonight because he's going to get the shots that Nowitzki doesn't. How about Monte Ellis with 30 points? And he did it 4 points in that first quarter, then 10 in the second, and then he had another 11, and then went to 30 by the end of the game. And there it is, all knotted up, the bottom 3.
The updated standings, the tiebreaker is conference record, but for the Warriors, they don't want to deal with that. They have to handle Dallas and Denver. They have them one more apiece. Dallas on Wednesday. Denver will be later on April 10th. But for the Warriors, a 4-game road trip begins tomorrow. Radio only in San Antonio. ESPN against Dallas. We'll be with you in Memphis on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. For Jim Barnett and Matt Steinmetz, Bob Fitzgerald saying so long from Oracle Arena. 28th sellout crowd. Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area begins tomorrow. Baseball season on the way, but Warrior playoffs, can they make it? The race to the finish over the final 9. It begins with a win tonight at home as they hold off the Mavericks in a game they had to have, 114-104.